Hi, I'm Jody Espina, president and founder of JodyJazz. I'm here at Sweetwater, and today I want to show you the DV tenor saxophone mouthpiece. All right, you can hear the DV has got a lot of power and brightness, but what people are amazed at is how well it plays ballads. Take a listen to the depth and bottom on this piece. The DV is a very special mouthpiece. The way it gets all that bottom is by the patented secondary window. This allows the reed to vibrate over the bore. So we have a shallow chamber which gives this mouthpiece plenty of power, and we have that opening under the bore so it lets the reed vibrate to that big chamber of the bore. And that's what adds that big fat bottom right away. My goal in the DV was to make a mouthpiece that plays great on live situations and sounds beautiful at the same time. So it records great as well. But as you know, as musicians, as saxophone players, we're often buried by the electronic instruments and not enough monitor. And this is the goal, is to give you this mouthpiece, which you can get a beautiful tenor sound, but be heard. The DV is very comfortable in straight ahead playing, so here's an example of that. All of our mouthpieces are manufactured in our factory at JodyJazz, and this starts out as a solid bar of 360 brass, which has got a great sound. It's not too hard and it's not too soft. And then we 24 karat gold plate it, which gives it a little added warmth. First, we take that bar and put it on our lathe, and we create the bore and the basic outside shape. Then we put it on our 5-axis CNC mill, where we make the chamber, and we finish the mouthpiece to about 85%. The most important part of the mouthpiece is the facing curve, and I'd like you to take a look at how smooth our table is and how smooth those rails are. That curve is what makes this mouthpiece probably the most free-blowing in the world. And those thin rails, take a look at our tip rail, which is very thin. That's done by hand after it's coming off the machine. And we find when we do that by hand, it plays much better than if we let the machine do it. So people are amazed when they go to the factory tour and they see how much handwork is done. In addition, we play test every single mouthpiece. And I'm very proud of the consistency and quality that we're getting. I hope you get to try the DV. It's my favorite mouthpiece in the world. The mouthpiece is the most important part of your whole setup. It makes the sound, it starts the sound, and it's where you feel the most. The reed is the second most important part. And with the DV series, don't be surprised if you go to a half step harder or even a whole step harder. I'm on a harder reed now. I'm on about a 3.5. Normally I play about a 3 or a little softer. But the DV is just a special mouthpiece. And always when you're trying a new mouthpiece, make sure you put it on the neck where it's in tune. It may be different than your old mouthpiece. And make sure you get a reed that matches, that you get the right strength reed. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions about the DV tenor or any other JodyJazz products, contact your Sweetwater sales engineer or head over to sweetwater.com.